the final thing we're going to do here is go to a view setting. We're going to create a layout so you can have a somewhat nice printable map with graticules and some other things on it. You could just take a screenshot of this. It would probably work. But we're going to go to Project and New Print Layout. And we're going to call it Bama. And so this is just where we go add some bells and whistles. And so the first thing we want to do is add our map. And you can slide over these buttons here and you'll see this one adds a new map to the printout. And we can change the size again if we want. It's rendering that. But I'm going to leave a little space there. All right, and then we have all kinds of properties over here of things that we can do. We probably want to insert a legend, and that will be this little thingy right here. So we're going to grab and drag a legend in right there. It probably has a few more things than we want. You'll see this feature over here that says auto update. So we're going to go ahead and slide down a little bit, make sure we're on Bing Bing, and we're going to remove it. And we're going to remove the Google, and we're going to remove the Tide because none of those are really there. We probably want to change that name before we go to publication. And I tend to not put titles and stuff on. I'll leave that for whatever the final editing package is, but I'm going to go here and add a couple more GIS-y things. I'm going to add a grid by clicking a plus, and then I'm going to modify that grid, and the interval units are, well, let's try 5 in the X, 5 in the Y. Okay, that's probably not enough. So we're going to go to 2. These are degrees, decimal degrees. And we'll do exterior ticks, which are the little points on the outside. And then we're going to click draw coordinates. And so there we go. So there we have the items that we sort of expect to see. We could change the font and make the size a little bigger. There we go. So a little more viewable. So the people who might be using reading glasses can also see that. This might be busier than it needs to be, but now we have our somewhat completed map with a legend, and we can continue to add north arrows and other things like that. We might add a plot at some point, but we're not going to do that right now because we're not doing analytics. And so there we are. We're going to click save so we have it. We're going to go to layout, and we're going to export it as an image. It tells me some of those layers won't show up, and that's all right. It's going to be called Bama.jpg, and I'm going to put it in my documents so it's easier to find. And the export resolution, I'm going to go up to 600 dpi. Yeah, we'll keep it from pixelating too much. Now I'm going to generate a world file, which means if I wanted to lay that back in over something else, and then I'm going to go to save. Okay, it spins for a minute. I've got my task complete. I'm going to go to my documents, and I have JGW. That's the world file, which just tells it where to put this image if I wanted to bring it back in and show it in a GIS package. I'm going to open this in Photos, and so there I have it. All right, so there we see we have our map. Again, we could have put boundaries and other things on it, but that essentially was start to finish, and I probably, like I said, should have titled that % change in coronavirus between the time periods and the time periods. But this should give you the idea that in less than an hour you can download and install and start getting into doing some GIS mapping, geographic information system mapping of things like Corona. We'll do some more of this a little later.